Okay, so I'm Melanie. I'm a middle school math teacher in Baltimore, and I'm finishing the program in December.
Cool. Good for you. I'm Amy, and I live in Colorado, and I am the Director of Training and Special Events for Hunter Douglas, a large multinational corporation. And I am finishing the program in December as well. I took my last class about a year and a half ago and took a break and thought I was done except for my my capstone, and found out I needed to take one more class. So here I am working on this and my capstone at the same time, which is awesome.
I'm Laura, and I live in Colorado. I have been a stay-at-home mom for about 9 years and decided to have a different career. So I'm working on the Information and Learning Technologies school librarian position. I'll be finished with this program in the summer.
Nice.
All right. Well,
so what did we think about the class? I've never seen anything kind of like this before. What did you guys think?
I thought it looked similar to the class we're currently taking, but the difference I noticed was that for our class, it's all with digital media. So I noticed similarities with, there were challenges, challenging yourself to be uncomfortable, exploring new ideas. That's what I noticed so far.
yeah, I mean, each one of those challenges that we read about were definitely something that you wouldn't just go ahead and do unless you were kind of forced to do, which
right.
I find that I agree. In a lot of this class, like there's a lot of things I wouldn't do on my computer or create these challenges or these daily creates. I wouldn't make a meme or I wouldn't take a photo and put something else in it unless like I had to, because it's not something I'm comfortable with.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that it was a really intriguing way. Like I never had a class like this in college, right? That really made me do things. I had classes that made me study different ways and look at interesting subjects and topics. And sometimes we would do, group work, but nothing that would really put you out of your comfort zone as much as that class and this class.
Right. So
I was a little, when I first started watching some of his videos, I thought, oh, is this one more like YouTube starry, really charismatic person that's just, how authentic is this going to be? How genuine is this guy going to be? But I think what turned it for me is he had the one video where he talked about how uncomfortable he actually was making videos, and he was going to do it every day for the rest of the class, and how much that put him out of his comfort zone, which completely changed my mind. I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm definitely also not comfortable with the video and the digital story. I actually, this is one of the electives I had to take, and I was very hesitant to take it just because my one experience with making a digital story back in my freshman year of college was a negative experience. So I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't even do that. But then I figured it was a few years ago, I'm ready to try something new. And so that's why I ended up here taking something out of my comfort zone.
What about you, Laura? As a mom, do you guys do a lot of videos? Do your kids do a lot of videos?
They do some, and they just use like iMovie to edit.
Yeah.
But nothing like we're doing in this class.
Yeah, but you know what? iMovie's pretty complicated. I bet they're pretty good at it. I mean, kids just like pick it up and go zip, 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 zip.
Yeah, they are definitely. It's just there's so many different online software out there. It's like, which one do you choose? I mean, even for some of the challenges, it took me a while to research to figure out, well, what am I going to use and what's free and is that even safe, or am I giving the computer a virus?
Yeah.
But it's working out.
So,
do you do any video in your classes? Melanie, do you do any class in your classes?
Not yet. I'm actually in a brand new school. I just moved out of a high school teaching environment into a middle school teaching environment. And I'm moving from New York to Baltimore. So I'm like really kind of confused as to what's going on right now. And I'm just playing it completely safe in my school and going into class every day, teaching them the material and leaving. But I do know that in the future, what I do want to be able to have these videos, as uncomfortable as they make me. I do want to be able to do videos, and I don't know if I want to do a full flipped classroom, because I do like getting up there and teaching and doing example problems with the kids. But I do want the option of the kids being able to watch the video, something more than a Khan Academy, only because a Khan Academy can get too mathematical technical for them and they get even more confused. Whereas if I had my own videos and I posted it on a website or I posted it on a Twitter feed or something, if they're absent or if they go home and they can't understand their homework, I have that option. So it's in my head and it's something I want to do. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Right. Yeah, blending it can be hard. Like, where does it end? Where does it start?
Right. So.
Right. Laura, where's your career path, and that you feel like maybe some of this stuff would be intriguing, or is it giving you ideas of just using stuff in your personal life or with your kids?
Right now, it's definitely given me ideas to use with my kids. I'm a substitute teacher, so I really can't go in and change anything around. I just go in and, help get through the day. But once I'm finished with the program, I need to go on and get my teaching license. My eventual goal is to be in a school library, and I would love to apply all sorts of this information in it.
Sure.
So I'm just, going to hang on to all the notes.
I'm trying to sift through it a little bit and get it straight in my head, because I work with adult learners, right, who are incredibly stubborn.
Right.
Right. And they would never sign up for a class like this. Like what we do is we teach people either to sell our products or to install our products, and they're very independent business people. So, but I am trying to get my head around the idea of challenges, like especially in the installation process. Is there something we could do on a regular basis that starts with a short video to get them excited? Because, right, he's really charismatic. I mean, even his interns are pretty charismatic, and get them, interested and kind of set down this challenge, and then try to get them to go do something and then to come tell us about it. That's kind of where my head's at, but I haven't really, they're so stubborn. It's just, and I can't require them to do anything.
Right.
Even in an HR environment, like with adult learners, you can require them to do something, but I can't. But I think that's why it's even more important that it's entertaining and interesting.
Yeah. So.
I want to know, do you guys have any ideas? I want to know how he's literally physically filming these. I don't think he's using a GoPro hanging over his head. So is someone in front of him walking or riding backwards? Because when he fell, did you guys see the one where he fell?
No, yeah. I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
So there was a video where he talked about the first time he did a lesson on video. He was trying to rollerblade, and he was going down a hill, and he was going faster and faster, and he wanted to talk about how human civilization has sped up, right? So he would start and say 12,000 years ago, and then 6,000 years ago, and then 3,000 years ago, and then he was going to go around a curve and kind of slow down. Well, he took the curve and he totally wiped out, completely wiped out, and he was going pretty fast. But then right when he wiped out, there was someone there with him. There was a woman, and he said, you know, this is so-and-so, she's my intern. And it looked like she was filming him, but I couldn't figure out how she could be going that fast backwards filming him.
Are you doing the Anthology 101?
Yeah.
Okay, I must have missed that area because I was looking at the challenges and the lessons, and I found his book. And so I started reading the book, and I did see a couple of videos, but nothing like that. So
there's a lot of video. I'm sure there's plenty that I didn't see. I think it was kind of probably hit and miss for the three of us of what we saw.
Because I kind of just ran through it and
yeah,
an idea. Watched a few videos here and there, and
but a lot of them he's walking or rollerblading, right? So how is he filming it?
So if I go to share screen, can you walk me through where on here it was at?
Let's see.
Because I looked at the book and I read the challenges and the lessons, but I didn't see a bunch of videos that he did.
Okay, if you go to lesson under people are different.
Okay.
Scroll up. So this is the first video that he did
Okay.
to talk about how people are different. So this is one where he talks about living in Papua New Guinea.
Okay, I hadn't looked at that one. I was looking at some of the other ones. Okay.
Yeah, so there's, I don't know if this is the one I'm talking about, but in every lesson, there's like one that he did and he explains it and he talks about his philosophy. And then there are a couple others as you scroll down that kind of go with that lesson. So I just kind of went through. At first, I tried to start at the beginning, and then I just started clicking through. Like right before we got on, I listened to the hero's journey one.
Okay.
Right. What I did when I was looking through the course, I went more into the, obviously, because everything I think of, I think in terms of math, because I'm that math loser. But I was thinking more in terms of how could I make something like this for my class?
Right.
And so I went for the idea of, if we're going for the uncomfortable feeling, went for the, my kids are constantly asking me because they're in 6th and 7th grade, when am I going to use this? When am I going to use this? When am I going to use this? And maybe like if I just gave them an assignment of go out, find some math in the world, take a picture, make a video, do something, whether it's what we're doing in class at the time or not, but like just to kind of show them that math is there and it's going to make them super uncomfortable because they didn't realize it was math.
Right. That's a great idea.
That is.
Yeah. That's where I went with the course while I was looking through.
I saw a challenge that I thought would work well with just myself and my kids that I was going to try. It was the Unthing experiment. It was one of the challenges. I think this was it. Oh, no, that was not it. Give me a second.
Though that one looks really interesting and difficult. Did you read that one? That one's like trying to trace something to its origins, and I think it would be really powerful.
I've started to do that. I watched the movie, The True Cost, which I think that's what his clip is talking about. It's a movie that I saw on Amazon, and it talks about where our clothing is manufactured. It's a pretty upsetting documentary, but it's really good, and it gets you to think about where your clothing is made from and the chemicals that are used and how it's polluting other countries, and they are having a lot of problems. And even in the United States, in like Texas, where cotton farmers, they have all the chemicals they're using for all of our cotton that we grow. A lot of them are getting brain tumors. So I thought it was interesting. So I've been starting to do that, looking at where does our stuff come from and trying to change what we buy, and definitely going with organic cotton when we start buying things again. And it was kind of scary.
I bet.
Yeah.
For my kids, I was going to try the Unthing experiment. where you give something up.
Wow.
They're saying for
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that too, but I don't know how to do it literally when I'm in this class. I actually did
I
think about
had a
that.
friend who had to do this for one of her classes in college, and she said it was she had to give up her cell phone for 48 hours, and she said it was very difficult but very enlightening.
Yeah. I thought about when they said I think there's one that said, do something that's uncomfortable. So rather than giving something up, you do something. And they had a clip of a guy who gets in an ice bath every day.
Oh.
And I thought about, could I do a 30-second cold shower every day? But I'm not sure I could.
I don't think I could.
I think if I'm going to do it, now would be the time before winter sets in.
Right. I'm like give up a significant virtual communication, Snapchat, Facebook, texting. I mean, I'm not sure really anybody at this age could do that. Like at this time could do that.
I was thinking of just maybe not using the lights for a whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even into the night, and just see if I don't turn on any of the lights.
So I've done that. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much do everything because you kind of know where everything is in your house, and you're like, okay, I know where the table is going to be and whatever. And plus, most of the day it's light out and you have windows. But the habit of like just turning the light when you go to the bathroom is just like,
Yep.
oh, I can't do that, and it's a challenge.
Yeah, because it's breaking your habits.
Yeah.
I think that that what's really interesting to me about this course is if I signed up for this course, as a freshman, I mean, I'm sure this particular course now has become famous and everyone talks about it, but if you just signed up for anthropology, it would never have been something that I would have thought would be like super interesting. It would be just like a core curriculum, a 101.
Right.
So he really kind of reinvented all the content, right?
Yeah.
And I do think there was one video I saw where he said one of his most recent challenges, he was talking about challenges in his life. One of his most recent challenges was how education is changing and how scary that was for him, and that he felt like he had to do something new because the educational environment was changing so much. But he didn't really say what. I mean, I think we can all kind of assume, distracted kids and the cost of college and things like that, which was pretty amazing how hugely different his thinking is than most professors.
I mean, it's amazing how easily distracted these kids are now in school. I mean, it's like just yesterday, I mean, I had 4 girls in my class playing with that stupid slime stuff and like not paying attention. So I told them to put the slime away, and they did. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, it's back out, and they didn't even realize they had taken it out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, what do you mean?
Unconscious.
Yeah. So.
That happens.
I think it's
with fidget spinners.
Oh, those stupid fidget spinners.
Oh, jeez. But it happens with adults too. Like we'll have people in class, and no matter how great it is, they're on their phones.
Right.
They're running their own businesses, so there's a lot to be said. I mean, adults are so unconscious now about their phones, and a lot of the adults that I work with skew a little bit older, so they actually still talk on their phones, that we've had people in the middle of the class answer a business call, like in the middle of class.
Right. They're not even aware they're doing it.
Right. And then the minute they're in that call, they're not aware of everyone else in that classroom.
Right.
So it's an interesting time. It's interesting too that he did such a great job of blending. Like I would think that, again, if you're going to a class that has a lecture in it, you would expect mostly to have a non-online experience, right? And this to me looks like a very robust online class without a personal situation, but he did a great job blending those two. So you go listen to his lectures, but you can get everything here. Whereas I think most of the time that I've been, like, this to me reminds me of a lot of the classes I've done in this program, because everything has to be online. But being able to go and watch him live or have meetings with him or have all these TAs would be amazing.
Yeah.
So how is this going to change our life in learning?
I plan on coming back to this website. I think it's something I definitely utilize, and I'd like to buy his book and read it. I just found it really interesting. I like the videos too. I wanted to watch more of them and just see how it can change the way when I am a teacher. And
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how to go into the classroom and teach students. So this is just more information for me to kind of decide how I want to teach.
Yeah. I think it's just going to make us all a little bit more conscious of what we're doing, and maybe breaking a habit every once in a while. It might not be something we do as often as like we do all our habits, but just being a little bit aware of what we're doing, and if there's a different way we could do that just for a learning experience.
Right. I think I'm going to try to really think on broadening my thought process around what I need to teach him. I think that was what he was really good at. It wasn't a bunch of facts and figures. It was kind of making people think about how they need to utilize what you're trying to teach them and how it can change their, in my instance, their business. I think that's what I'm going to try to use it as a thought experiment.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else?
I have an idea. Maybe when you have your class, you have a challenge for the adults and have them give up their phone for the period.
That's a good idea.
And then
for the 45 minutes.
Here's your challenge. You've completed a challenge, and then maybe you can have their focus. And I bet what you'll find is that without their phones, they'll probably get really fidgety.
Probably. They'll probably make us be better teachers, right? Because we have to keep them engaged.
Right.
Right. It'll force us to, because sometimes, the people that we have standing up and teaching them you can get a little bit lazy. You can't get lazy if everyone's really focused on you.
If everyone's focused, right.
Yeah.
But then I wonder, like, would they really get more focused, or would they be like, I want my phone, I don't know what to do.
Like every minute,
Right.
I want my phone.
Yesterday, I ended class about a minute and a half early, and they have a strict no cell phone policy in the middle school where I'm at, and it was like a minute and a half, and it was the last period of the day, and she goes, so class is over, right? And the day is over? I was like, well, when the bell rings. She goes, so can I take out my phone? I was like, no. Like, wait the minute and a half until the bell rings.
7th grader.
Right. So she was very focused on getting her phone, and so
I remember when my kids were young. My kids are a little bit older now, but when my kids were young, before even cell phones, they would be in the back of the car, but we would have videos like on long rides, and the video would end and they'd want to put on another one. And I was like, maybe you should just look out the window and think. And they were bored in like a minute and a half. Like, what?
Right.
Something isn't coming into my brain?
It's okay to be bored.
Exactly. But it's
just sit there.
It's hard for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good talk. I was glad to meet you guys.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I will put up a photo. Like I said, it's just a little awkward right now.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll stop the recording, and then I'll figure out how to share it with you two, and then submit it to the teacher. I'll read and see what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, I think it's just posting it.
Yeah, I think one of us just has to tweet it out with all of our Twitter handles or whatever they're called. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're all set.
Okay, I will look into that. But I think first I'm going to go have breakfast with my daughter, and then I'll come back and send it out.
Oh yeah, anytime this
Enjoy.
weekend I'm sure is fine. No hurry.
I'll do it today for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a
Bye.
good one.
Hey, have a good weekend.
You too.